Hi boys and girls, welcome back. Okay, today we're going to do the second lesson out of 3 for the solar system. And before we get started, I'm going to talk about some words that will come up, some vocabulary words. So hopefully you'll remember these and understand what they are when I talk about them. The first one is solar system, and that's a group of objects in space that move around a central star. A star, by definition, is a burning sphere of gases. So something round, and it's a burning sphere of gases. We're also going to talk about planet, which is a large object that moves around a star. And then we have asteroids. Asteroids are small rocky objects that move around the sun. And last but not least, comet. That's a small mass of dust and ice that orbits the sun in a long oval-shaped path. Okay, so the information for today, we're going to start with the sun. A solar system is a group of objects in space that move around a central star. Our sun is a star, a burning sphere of gases. This fiery ball is more than 1 million kilometers, or 621,000 miles, in diameter, meaning across. The sun is the largest object in the solar system. It puts out a lot of energy in all directions. It's the source of almost all energy in our solar system. Some energy reaches Earth as light and some as heat. So, what is the largest object in our solar system? I'll give you a hint. Everyone draws it as yellow. You're right, the sun. There are other objects in the solar system. Our solar system is made up of the sun and 9 planets. Of course, remember, Pluto has been demoted to a dwarf planet. It also includes moons around the planets, asteroids, and comets. A planet is a large object that moves around a star. Earth and Pluto have only one moon, but Jupiter and Saturn have many moons. Asteroids and comets are other objects that move around the sun. Most of them are scattered between orbit paths of Mars and Jupiter. All asteroids and comets put together don't make an object half as big as our moon. Name the objects in our solar system. So yes, you said planets, moons, asteroids, and comets. And you're right. Since each planet orbits at a different speed, each one's year is different as well. For instance, length of planet years. Mercury, their length of their year is equal to 88 Earth days. So they have a way shorter, only about maybe 25% of how long our year is. And it goes about 48 kilometers a second. That's pretty fast. Earth has 365 1/4 days, and it goes about 30 kilometers a second. Whereas Pluto, being the farthest out, 250 Earth years are the same as one of our years. And it's very slow because it's so far out, about 5 kilometers a second. If you put that in perspective, you kind of figure out that the closest one to the sun is the one that goes the fastest, and the one that's the farthest goes the slowest. So maybe we can put that together with the energy source, not sure, but that's what I would propose. Okay, today for our activity we're going to make what's called a Stargazer. What you'll need for that is a piece of white paper. This is the kind that you would use in your copy machine. And I've made that into fourths because we really only need a fourth of a piece of paper. And then we're going to need some aluminum foil. And I cut it, not to be too big, just big enough to go around the empty paper towel tube. Now that's how it started, was an empty one, okay? And then we're also going to need a needle. Now be real careful with the needle because it can poke you. I don't know if you can see real close, but just any size needle, something to poke holes. And on the bottom of your Stargazer directions are a bunch of constellation maps. And there's 6 here on the bottom. You can make your own, or you could make all 6 or more if you want. Now to put this together, we need to take our empty paper towel tube, and with the paper, we'll put it over the end and wrap it around as tight as you can, and then secure it with a rubber band. And then I took a pen and stuck it in the middle of the paper and just made a hole there. That's your peephole where your eye will go. And on the other side, we take our aluminum foil and wrap around that side, and then also put a rubber band around there. Now you want to make that as tight as you can, because once you get constellation, you'll put it through your, so it's like this, you see that, and then you take your needle and poke a hole through the paper and the foil. Once you've done that with all the holes for the constellation, whichever one you choose, or if you want to do a lot, then you can look through the one end with your eye and you can see the constellation. I chose to do the Little Dipper because that's one of the ones I'm familiar with, and I can usually find that in the night sky with a telescope. So this is your Stargazer. It's very elementary, but it's kind of fun. You can look in the light source, don't look at the sun with this, straight up. Maybe go outside where the sun's shining, but somewhere in a shady spot, and look through your Stargazer. I'm not exactly sure what you'd see at night, because I think you have to have a light source. So that's what we're going to do for today, and in a minute I'll talk to you about we'll kind of summarize and put it all together, and then we can talk about what's going to happen next week. To summarize, our solar system is made up of the sun, 9 or 8 if you don't want to count Pluto, planets, and their moons, asteroids and comets. Each planet revolves in an elliptical orbit around the sun and rotates at the same time on its axis, as we talked before a little bit, different speeds depending on how far they are from the sun. I still say 9 planets. Okay, a good mnemonic that I learned when I was teaching and when I was in school myself was to know all the 9 planets. I remember that my very energetic mother just served us 9 pizzas, and that will do all the order of the planets, including Pluto. So if you don't want to include Pluto, then you have to say my very energetic mother just served us nothing, or think of something else. But that's a good way to remember all the 9 planets. Okay, number 1. What is the sun? Basically, it's the largest star in the solar system, and of course a star is a sphere, something semi-round at least, of fiery gases. Number 2. In what way are the planets, comets, and asteroids alike? Well, they're objects that move around the sun. Number 3. How does a planet's distance from the sun affect its orbit speed? If it's the closer it is, the faster it is. The farther it is, the slower it is. Pluto probably just goes really, really, really slow. It's 255 years for one of our years. I can imagine if you were able to live on Pluto, that you probably wouldn't even be able to live long enough to do 6 months of our time. But you're not going to live on Pluto, so don't worry about that. Number 4, what provides most of the heat and light in our solar system? Is it A, comet Hale-Bopp, B, asteroids, C, the sun, or D, Jupiter? Well, think about it. Heat and light. And if you said C, the sun, then you are correct. Okay, this was a short lesson today, but I don't like to go on to too many activities in one. So today I'm going to remind you, if you have questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, anything, go ahead and email me at Sciencegranny50 okay? And then I can kind of get some ideas of what to do in the future. Also, I want to thank you for watching me every week, and I hope you'll watch me again next week, and then there'll be a short break for vacation. All right, take care, have fun looking at your Stargazer, and don't forget to be awesome. Bye.